So, your ex blocked you on everything. Cold, no warning. Not only does it feel like she doesn't want anything to do with you, it feels like she might actually hate you. Now you're sitting there wondering if this is really permanent or if this is some kind of a sick, twisted game. Today, I'm breaking down what blocking actually means and what you absolutely shouldn't do, and how you can flip this into a power move. So let's get the obvious out of the way. If you are a toxic person, and let's really define this here, okay? If you told her that you hope that she dies, if you hope she burns in hell, that you will come after her and physically harm her, and we're talking about extremes here, okay? But still, if you've done something along those lines, she caught you outside in her bushes spying on her, okay? So we're talking about all of these really extreme, very toxic behaviors. You blew up her phone, called her 90 times in a row, or texted her 20 times in a row that day when she still hasn't replied to you. All of these extremely toxic behaviors scare the hell out of people. Not just her, they scare anyone. So if she blocks you because you've done all of those things, it doesn't mean that she's totally over you. It means you have scared the hell out of her, okay? So a toxic block is done logically, and is what I want you to understand. Those actions are logical for anyone to completely sever that connection and to say, this is done, there's no way that I'm gonna deal with that again. And here's the thing, even if that's you, there is still a chance that over time, she unblocks you or reaches out once she can sense that your emotions have regulated, that maybe you're not that same person anymore. And if you are that same person, you seriously need to work on yourself. You probably need to get some therapy. And I'm not trying to judge you here, bro. I am trying to say you need to regulate yourself. When you can't regulate yourself, you leave that job to the men around you in society. If it gets bad enough, there's a number you can call that can actually make others regulate you for you. And if you get really bad, what they're gonna do is put you in a room because you can't regulate yourself for a certain amount of time, and they're gonna say either regulate yourself or you're gonna sit here for a while. But to the average person, blocking is not logical. Blocking is an emotional reaction. It's not final. What I've often said in my videos is that the opposite of love is not hatred, it's indifference. If she were truly over you, she wouldn't need to block you. She wouldn't care, especially if you're not toxic and it doesn't hurt her at all to see you. Again, she has no emotion when she sees you. Then she wouldn't care if you were still on her friends list. She wouldn't care if you were still in her life because she wouldn't feel anything. By the simple act of them blocking you is proof that you still affect them emotionally. So let's go over the reasons that they probably blocked you. Number one, they're emotionally overwhelmed and they're trying to numb. This is especially true if you're dealing with an avoidant. They feel so much emotion, whether that's good or bad, and they need to just cut it off. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't still have feelings for you or that they flat out do not want to reconnect with you in the future. It means that it's a temporary measure. And again, it's emotional, not logical. A logical block often ends in a permanent block. An emotional block often ends with them unblocking you. So if you're dealing with, let's say, a fearful avoidant, which craves intimacy, but also independence, and they constantly oscillate between those two wounds, what it means is if they block you, it's because they feel too much. And instead of facing those feelings, they don't understand how to do that, so they just numb you out. They block you out. Second, I think, is the biggest reason people block, and that is they want a reaction or attention. So if your ex blocked you, especially straight up after the breakup, it probably means that they just wanted to keep you along. So if they block you, what they're really looking for is they're trying to get you to start chasing them. They're trying to get you to blow up their phone, constantly questioning them like, I can't believe you do this, you really hurt me, blah, blah, blah. And all of that is a power move on their end because they want to make sure that they mean something to you in your life. And it is a cruel and manipulative game that's often emphasized by younger kids, which is why I say when you're older, get the fuck over yourself, don't block each other and move on like adults. Even if they want to play those games, that doesn't give you an excuse to do so as well. There are enough toxic people in this world. You do not have to be one of them. Grow up. Oftentimes when somebody blocks you, it's the exact opposite reason of why you think they blocked you. They actually want your attention. They actually want you to reach out to them on a different social platform. So if they block your number, they want you to reach out on Instagram. They block you on Instagram, they want you to reach out on Snapchat. They block you on Snapchat, it must mean that they want to see you in real life. But the point is, they definitely want attention. It's not that they don't ever want to see you again in their life, it's because they want you to validate not only their decision for them leaving you, they also want you to validate their feelings of, I'm better than you. It's a form of emotional hierarchy. My feelings and what I want mean more than your entire being. My ego means more than your entire heart. I'll just say this, that is perfectly encapsulating of the attitude of the average modern woman. Their egos mean more to them than you ever will. Next, they're hurting and they want control. If they block you, it could be because you have hurt them deeply by either ending the relationship, or of course, if they've ended it with you, which is more likely, they block you out of a means for control. So here's what I mean. True story, by the way. I had an ex remove me off of their close friends story on Instagram, not because I didn't mean anything to them, but because they didn't want me watching their close friend's story because I stopped viewing their close friend's story. So what that means is she saw that. She saw that I was not giving her a view, any attention, even to her close friend's story. And she says, okay, if you're not gonna view it, I'm gonna take away your ability to. You see how that's a control move by her? She's trying to regain control of that because I hurt her feelings by not viewing her story. And if you're honest with yourself, if you're trying to get an ex back and you make a post that's slightly or subtly aimed at them and they don't even view the story, that's gonna hurt your feelings quite a bit. And that's exactly why she removed you or blocked you as well, because they want that emotional control, at least a little bit, back in their favor. And whenever you go no contact with them, what you're doing is you're turning that dynamic onto them. And you're saying, hey, you think you're the one in control because you broke up with me, but guess what? We're gonna go no contact. And because of that, I get to control the silence. I get to control whether or not you get a second chance. And doing that means that you take back that emotional control of the situation. You don't chase, you don't beg, you hold that silence right here, and it says, if you want me back, and she's gonna want you back, you're gonna have to go through me. So again, the top 3 reasons that a girl blocks you, assuming you're not toxic and they're not actually trying to move on, which is a very small percentage, it means it's emotional and not logical, is because they're overwhelmed and they're trying to numb themselves. They're trying to provoke a reaction in you. They just want your attention, and or they're hurting and they want to take back a little bit of that control. Now, here's what most guys do whenever they get blocked. They start creating fake accounts and following them on their socials because they can't stand not knowing what they're doing if they're with a different guy or whatever. They start asking their friends to reach out to her friends, and just to kind of test the waters. All of these things are seen through very easily by women. Women are just naturally more emotional intelligent than men are, so I promise you, little games you think are ingenious, she's already figured out usually. So you're not really gonna get anywhere there except for making yourself look even weaker in her eyes. They post attention-seeking content, right? They post stories that are not subtly aimed at her, they're directly aimed at her, right? They're posting these breakup quotes or poems or nonsense like that. It's like, man, you've got to realize how unattractive that is to her. Even if she blocks you, stop posting that stuff because odds are you've got some mutual friends who are gonna tell her about it, and you do not want that. And worst case scenario, they assume it's forever and they just start spiraling. They couldn't imagine a life without you. And again, a lot of it is just to provoke a reaction in you, which is exactly what she's doing. And the only way to flip that script is when she blocks you to say, okay, you don't reach out, you don't text her, you don't do anything. By the way, part of not doing anything means you do not block her back. You don't unfollow her back or whatever else she does on anything. You are not reactive whatsoever. You do not give that a reaction. You blocking her validates her blocking you. That means she caused an emotional reaction. She still gets that validation, just like a message telling her, I'm not really over you. I'm actually quite upset by this. I'm gonna prove it by blocking you, is exactly what you're telling her by blocking her. If you wanna make her spiral, take back the power in that dynamic, you don't do anything. Let her freak out. Women are chaos. Let her spin and spiral and freak out and cause an emotional storm and backlash and hurt herself. Go ahead, let her, and just watch. She makes an absolute ass out of herself. Just watch. Get popcorn, man. Just watch. Because usually when women spiral, they do it publicly, like online. Like they start posting things like this and that's it. You just watch. You need to rest in the fact that what you had affected her so deeply that it actually caused her to spiral openly and publicly. That is a compliment wrapped in chaos. Being blocked isn't the end of the book. It's a plot twist. Don't hand her the pen. Lastly, when will she unblock you? Because like I said, if they block you out of emotion, and most blocks are emotional, they will unblock you when that emotion simply dies down. And how you get that to die down is to not react to it, and it's to simply give it time. Continue no contact. Don't do anything. And I know it sounds so simple, but it's one of those things that, yeah, it sounds simple, but it's really hard to stay in no contact sometimes, isn't it? Especially when you see something aimed directly at you or you see her block you and it really hurts. And I understand that everybody's gone through them being blocked by an ex before. We all know how much it hurts, okay? But the best thing you can do is nothing. I know that you think that she's gonna move on like this, but she's not gonna be able to, especially when she unblocks you a month later and she realizes you never blocked her and she goes through your posts and she sees that you didn't post anything about her, there's nothing hateful there, there's nothing but good energy. She's gonna seriously, you're gonna hold up a mirror to her emotions and she's gonna have to face herself and she's gonna think, I look like an idiot and she looks like an idiot. It's like, yeah, exactly. And she's going to start comparing you and that emotional maturity, that strength that you held as a man to everybody else around here. And here's the thing, that sort of ambiguity or that sort of stillness by you makes her trust you. That means that she can come to you with anything. All of her chaos she can place on you, knowing that you aren't gonna budge. It's not gonna affect you whatsoever. That is highly attractive in a man, whenever she can place all of that on you and trust you with her emotions. So lil bro, blocking is not the end. It rarely is. So just relax, let the block happen. Know and rest in the fact that if she did not feel anything for you, she wouldn't need to block you. It's as simple as that. Odds are high that she's going to unblock you sometime in the near future. When she does, act like nothing happened. You don't have to ignore the fact that she blocked you, but don't bring it up. Oh, you blocked me? Oh, okay, that's fine. I just assumed you needed space. What's up? Nothing else. You don't need to say anything else. Look, I promise you, she's going to feel foolish enough as it is, so you just kind of let her spiral. And when she comes back, you treat her like she was a bratty little sister and say, okay, you know, whatever. And then ask her out again if that's what you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be that complicated, guys. Relax, breathe, trust yourself. Little bro, you got this and I got you. I'll see you in the next one.